Have you ever pondered the intricate dance between faith and reason? How do they coexist, if at all? This question has been a point of contemplation for philosophers and theologians for centuries. It's a dance, a delicate balancing act, where both partners must move in harmony or risk falling into discord. One figure who sought to choreograph this dance was a man named Thomas Aquinas. Born in the heart of the 13th century, Aquinas emerged from a world where faith was often seen as the antithesis of reason. Yet he dared to challenge this notion, daring to believe that faith and reason could not only coexist but could enrich and illuminate each other. Aquinas was a medieval philosopher and theologian, a thinker who dared to tread where others feared to go. His journey was one of intellectual curiosity and spiritual exploration, a quest to reconcile two seemingly disparate elements: the teachings of Aristotle, a pillar of ancient Greek philosophy, and the doctrines of Christian theology. This pursuit resulted in a unique synthesis, a blend of faith and reason that became known as Thomism. Thomism, named after Aquinas himself, was not a mere amalgamation of ideas, but a harmonious integration. It was a dance, choreographed by Aquinas, where faith and reason moved in unison, each enhancing and deepening the understanding of the other. In his most influential work, Summa Theologica, Aquinas systematically addressed a wide array of theological and philosophical questions. His methodical approach to theology, characterized by logical argumentation and a meticulous examination of issues, became emblematic of scholasticism, a movement that sought to reconcile faith and reason through rigorous intellectual inquiry. Yet, Aquinas was more than just a philosopher and theologian. He was a visionary who dared to believe in a world where faith and reason could dance together, a world where the mysteries of the divine could be explored through the lens of human understanding. The journey of Thomas Aquinas begins in the heart of Italy, where a young boy of noble birth would grow to profoundly shape Western Christian thought. Born in 1225 in Rocca Secca, Italy, Thomas Aquinas was destined for great things. From his earliest years, Aquinas was immersed in an environment of nobility and faith. Born into an aristocratic family, he was the youngest of 9 children, and his family had grand plans for his future. They envisioned him becoming an influential figure within the church, a position that would certainly add to their prestige. But fate had different plans. At the tender age of 5, Aquinas was sent to the Benedictine monastery of Monte Cassino to receive his early education. Here, he was introduced to the spiritual and intellectual traditions of the Christian faith, an experience that would shape his future path. In his adolescence, Aquinas made a bold move that defied his family's expectations. He decided to join the Dominican order, a decision that sparked a family conflict so intense that he found himself temporarily imprisoned by his own brothers. However, Aquinas remained undeterred. His commitment to the Dominican life was unwavering, and eventually, his family relented. The Dominican order, known for its emphasis on scholarly pursuits, became the perfect home for Aquinas. He was sent to study in Naples, Paris, and Cologne under the guidance of notable scholars of the time. Among them was Albertus Magnus, a Dominican friar and philosopher, who recognized Aquinas' intellectual potential and became a significant mentor. In these formative years, Aquinas was introduced to the works of Aristotle, which had recently been translated into Latin. The profound logic and systematic reasoning of Aristotle's philosophy fascinated him. He found in Aristotle a kindred spirit, a thinker who, like him, sought to understand the world through observation and reasoning. As Aquinas delved deeper into his studies, a synthesis between the teachings of Aristotle and Christian theology began to emerge, a synthesis we now call Thomism. This blending of faith and reason marked the beginnings of Aquinas' intellectual journey, a journey that would profoundly shape the course of Western Christian thought. In his most influential work, Summa Theologica, Aquinas embarked on an ambitious journey to address a wide array of theological and philosophical questions. This colossal masterpiece remains a cornerstone of Catholic theology, the depth and breadth of which are simply staggering. In Summa Theologica, Aquinas' intellectual prowess truly shines. He systematically tackles a plethora of topics, from the existence of God and the nature of divine attributes to moral philosophy and the sacraments. His methodical approach to theology, characterized by logical argumentation and meticulous examination of issues, is a testament to his intellectual rigor and commitment to truth-seeking. One of the most iconic aspects of Summa Theologica is Aquinas' 5 ways argument for the existence of God. In a stroke of genius, Aquinas presents 5 rational paths to affirming the existence of a supreme being. These paths are not just mere conjectures, but are well-thought-out arguments from motion, causation, contingency, perfection, and governance. The first way, the argument from motion, posits that everything in the universe is in motion, and this motion must have been set in place by an unmoved mover, God. The second way, the argument from causation, suggests that every effect has a cause, and this chain of causation must have a first cause, again, God. The third way, the argument from contingency, states since everything in the universe is contingent, there must be a necessary being that started it all, God. The fourth way, the argument from perfection, asserts that because we perceive degrees of perfection in the world, there must be a perfect being, God. The final way, the argument from governance, maintains that the order and purpose observed in the universe imply a divine governor, God. These 5 ways are not intended to replace faith, but to complement it. They serve as rational underpinnings to belief, showing that faith and reason can coexist harmoniously. Through his rational approach, Aquinas sought to demonstrate that faith and reason are not adversaries, but allies. His Summa Theologica remains a timeless testament to this enduring truth, reminding us that the quest for knowledge can indeed lead us closer to the divine. Aquinas was not just a theologian, but also a keen observer of human nature and morality. With a discerning mind, he ventured into the realm of natural law, a concept that would profoundly influence the discourse on ethics and law. At the heart of Aquinas' exploration of natural law lies the belief that moral principles are inherent in human nature. He posited that these principles are not arbitrary constructs, but are deeply rooted within us, forming the bedrock of our moral compass. Aquinas believed that these principles are universal, applying to all individuals regardless of their cultural or religious background. Here's where it gets interesting. Aquinas argued that these inherent moral principles can be discerned through reason. He proposed that our rational faculties enable us to perceive and understand these principles, guiding our actions and decisions. Now, this doesn't mean that we always make morally sound choices. Aquinas acknowledged the power of free will and the potential for individuals to act against their better judgment. But at the core, he maintained that our capacity for reason provides us with the tools to recognize and align with these inherent moral truths. Aquinas' exploration of natural law was a game changer. It provided a fresh perspective, one that intertwined morality with human nature and reason. This idea had a ripple effect, influencing subsequent discussions on ethics and law. It nudged philosophers and theologians to consider morality not just as a set of rules imposed from the outside, but as something intrinsic to who we are as human beings. Moreover, Aquinas' concept of natural law has had far-reaching implications beyond the realm of theology. It has informed broader philosophical discourse and has been invoked in debates on human rights, social justice, and political theory. It has shaped our understanding of what it means to be moral and ethical beings, reminding us of the power of reason and the universality of certain moral truths. Aquinas' ideas on natural law continue to resonate, shaping our understanding of ethics and morality. His insights offer a profound look into our nature, our capacity for reason, and the moral principles that guide us, leaving an enduring imprint on the tapestry of human thought. Canonized as a saint, Thomas Aquinas' influence extends far beyond theology. His intellectual footprint has left a profound mark not only within theological circles, but also in the realms of education, scholarship, and political philosophy. Aquinas' commitment to the pursuit of knowledge, to the synthesis of faith and reason, has had a lasting impact on how we approach learning and understanding. In the educational sphere, Aquinas' methodical approach to theology, characterized by logical argumentation and meticulous examination, became emblematic of scholasticism. His teachings instilled a respect for rigorous inquiry and critical thinking, principles that continue to shape educational philosophies and practices today. The thread of Thomism, the philosophical school that follows his thoughts, is woven into the fabric of many educational institutions, both religious and secular. In the realm of scholarship, his influence is equally remarkable. His systematic approach to complex theological and philosophical questions fostered a tradition of intellectual rigor and depth. Aquinas' works, particularly the Summa Theologica, remain a cornerstone of philosophical and theological studies, their wisdom echoing through the halls of academia. Beyond theology and philosophy, Aquinas also made significant contributions to political philosophy. His teachings on just war, political authority, and the relationship between church and state have informed and shaped centuries of discourse. His exploration of these concepts in his work Summa contra Gentiles sought common ground for dialogue and understanding, demonstrating his commitment to intellectual engagement and respectful dialogue. His concept of natural law, the idea that moral principles are inherent in human nature and discernible through reason, has also had a profound influence on discussions of ethics and law. This idea continues to resonate in contemporary debates about morality, justice, and human rights, testifying to the enduring relevance of Aquinas' thoughts. Thomas Aquinas, a harmonizer of faith and reason, a beacon of knowledge, continues to shine, his teachings still studied and revered, making him a pivotal figure in the history of intellectual thought.